Hey friends, my name is Jake. This is Bandit. How you doing, Bandit? Give me 5. There you go. Bandit is my great little dog. His only problem is he barks at anything that moves. And where we live, we're at the end of a cul-de-sac and dead-end street, and he looks straight down the street. If anything moves, we're going to hear about it, aren't we? Yeah. We've got a box today. It's a big box from White Mountain Knives, and we're going to take a look at what's in there. We've got some fixed blades. We've got, I'm looking at my screen instead of the lens. What's up, buddy? You okay? Yeah, you sneezed. All over me. Now lick it off. Come on, lick it off. So I was looking at the screen instead of at the lens, and so that looks odd if I'm making a video talking this way. Doesn't it look really odd? I think that looks a whole lot better, doesn't it? Anyhow, White Mountain Knives. I got some fixed blades. I got some folding knives. So you might be interested. I think I've got some kitchen knives in here because I've been wanting to get some kitchen knives. And we're going to do some cooking. No, not on video. Before we get to the tabletop, if you've been watching my series on detents and fixing them, I said it's a 2-part series. I'm adding a 3rd part. And the 3rd part is going to be just a short video, a list of warnings, what can go wrong if you try the fixes that I suggested that you try. I know I gave information on how you're supposed to do it and how you're supposed to be careful and everything, but I didn't really mention what can go wrong. And that's probably good to know. So I'll be doing that by the end of the week. So, no, wait a minute. Today's Wednesday, and I got a medical appointment Friday, and within a week, within 7 days, right, buddy? Within 7 days. So pay attention for that video to come out. Now let's get to the tabletop and take a look, okay? Are you going to bark when I put you down? Probably. All right, in my hands today, I've got a Spyderco Stretch. The Stretch 2, actually. One of my viewers asked me if I wanted to grab one of these, a Canadian viewer, and take a look at it. It's not mine. He's just letting me borrow it. And thankfully, he's offered to pay for the shipping to me and back to him. So that makes it possible for me to show you this. It's made with ZDP or ZDP, if you're in America, ZDP-189 stainless steel. It's made in Japan, and it's the typical Stretch style. This is the FRN handle scales, back lock knife, very smooth action. If I disengage the lock, it just waves all on its own. Very, very light and smooth. So if you disengage the lock and you've got your hand in the way, you're holding it too far back, it's going to close on you and whack, give you a nice little cut. I was surprised, though. The action on this thing's so smooth that I can do a hard flick and come to a sudden stop, and I can make the blade come out and deploy. Let's take a look at this box. You wanted to see what's in here. This box has been delayed for a while. Maybe it got lost somewhere. It was shipped on the 15th of September, and now it's the 13th of October, so most of the packages have been coming quite a bit faster than that, in a little less than 2 weeks. And so this took quite a bit longer. So what do we got? Yes, we've got the obligatory CIVIVIs. Well, they're not really obligatory. So we'll put those to the side here. We have a TwoSun. Oh, I hit the camera. That's going to be shaking. We've got a TwoSun fixed blade. We've got a TwoSun folding knife. We've got a Kooby fixed blade. And another. And I think that's all I've got in here. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. That's all that's in there. So we'll put the CIVIVIs last. And we're going to look at the Koobys first. I think I'm going to move the camera just a little closer to the tabletop. There we go. So I'm just going to undo the plastic here. Let's do that with these Koobys. I forgot my two knives. So let's see this one first. This is the, I don't know if you can read it from there because of the angles, KU160 D2 steel wood, and it says color red. We've got the little microfiber cloth in the box and a sealed package. So yeah, that's a fairly sharp stretch. There we go. So wooden handle, high polish on that wooden handle. There you go. It's a little bit heavy. It's fairly thick blade stock. Very thick. I'll have to look up what kind of wood that is. I don't think it's walnut. This is some kind of Asian or South American wood. It looks like very hard wood. So full tang, 2 pins. Yeah, that's very heavy. I do prefer this kind of system here for the belt. So you can adjust it. You can rotate it and wear it scout style if you want to. Or you can wear it higher and lower on your hip. Not bad. I would prefer if there was a bit of a push away up here instead of it, if they would have not ground that just off, but if they would have folded it out a little way as a push off. But you can just push it right on there as well, but I'd prefer if there was a flat thing like some brands do. So D2 steel, very thick and heavy. I think this handle feels a little too blocky for me. But that can be adjusted. Without changing the metal at all, I could round off, and the phone's ringing. Oh, that makes me angry. I'm having one of my worst pain days that I've had in a while. And to have to cross the house, well, it's not that far. It's about 7-8 yards. But to get to the phone, thank you for choosing Hilton. Oh, I've never stayed at a Hilton ever in my life. Just spam junk calls. So yeah, heavy knife. I think I'd like to round off the wood on the belly side if I was to keep this. I will definitely test it and see what I think of it. I was concerned that it was going to be really thick behind the grind. At the tip, it's a bit thick behind the grind, but the rest of it's not terrible. It feels like it's, I don't know, 0.7 millimeters, 27 thousandths of an inch, something like that. Let's put this down. Actually, let's just put the blade down, and I'll put the rest of this away for now. And let's look at this Kooby. And we'll take a look. This is newer. This is the KU240B. 240B. It's larger. And we've got a gray microfiber cloth in this one, and it's wrapped up. Let's put those up there for now. And let's check out this Kooby now to see how sharp this guy is. Yeah, not bad. Oh, this guy's even heavier. The Kooby knives really are heavy. This blade stock is very thick. Let's see. Yeah, it's almost identical thickness blade stock. I got separate plastic over the blade there, but it's got this gray stone wash. That's an interesting sharpness choil that they got. Not quite a full flat grind. It says D2 right up there. A bit of a thumb riser. The handle is thinner at the front, at the middle of the knife, and it gets thicker towards the back. The G10 slabs look like they should be removable. The hand feels a little bit better. It's a little bit, well, it's very close to the same thickness at the same spots. And I'd like to round this off too. I did have somebody comment on one of my videos very recently when I talked about modifying G10. He ended up with a scare going to the hospital because he started bleeding from his nose. G10 has glass fibers in it. If you sand it or anything and you breathe in those fibers, you can really hurt the insides of your body. The parts where the air is supposed to go isn't designed for glass fibers to go. So wear a mask, a good mask, not just one of these hand-sewn masks. Get those N95 masks if you're going to work with G10. So longer blade, nice stone wash. I think this one looks cooler, but I think this one's more functional. Well, there you go. So let's put those on the screen. Let's see how the screen looks. There we go. So I'm going to put this sheath over here as well. Remember, at White Mountain Knives, you can save 10% with coupon code CCE. And here we have a large knife by TwoSun. This one did not have any saran wrap. Don't want to slide the metal across the metal. They've taped across this plastic. There we go. So they've put protectors on the heel and the tip of this blade. And so unfortunately for this big piece of steel, it reflects so much. I turned most of my lights off. I'll turn them back on for the smaller items. So we've got a very pointy blade. So if you need to, pierce some stuff in the kitchen, you can do that. Long flat grind, 14C28N stainless steel. Wong design. G10 handle scales. Fairly good. Nice balance. That's where the balance point is, right there. Perfect. That's exactly what I like on a knife. This is a big long blade too. I'll measure it and put the inches and centimeters on the screen for this. So now we're going to look at the rest of these. So I'm going to turn the light back on. TwoSun. What do I got for a TwoSun folding knife? I've got the 310. Now it looks like it barely fits in here. The TwoSun needs more sizes of boxes. There we go. It's also a fixed blade. So we've got 4 fixed blades now. I saw this guy and I just needed to grab it. I like little knives. First we've got just sort of a clip over for your belt. So you can take that off if you want to and carry it as a neck knife if you want to. Or you could put on other clips if you prefer a different kind of clip. I've got some standalone clips. Ready for the blade? There you go. Well, I need to wipe that guy off. This is 14C28N as well. There you go. We've got a hollow grind on the main section, as you can see from the reflection. And then a flat grind at the tip. It's the full thickness all the way, just shy of the tip. So it's super thick behind the grind at that tip there. But this section back here, that feels like it's less than 0.5 millimeter, less than 20 thou. I'll know for sure when I measure it. This is my micarta back here, removable handle scales. Yeah, you can get a decent grip on this thing. Yeah, that's going to be a fun little knife. At least I think it will be. We've got 2 packages from CIVIVI. Now these are both folding knives. Which one should I do first? Well, I'll just do the one that's on the top here first. This one is the, it's always the last side you look, because only an idiot keeps looking after they've found it. This is the Hadros C20004-2 brown micarta 10CR15CO MOV blade. That's the Chinese version of steel that is very close to VG10. I tend to get paper cuts and stuff taking boxes, like opening boxes like this. So what I often do is I put it in there and then I just sort of pivot and that opens it up. Of course, the typical CIVIVI pouch. Worst, you get your microfiber cloth, you get your stickers. So there's those. Yeah, I think their pull tabs used to be not branded at all, weren't they? I'm not sure. But now it says CIVIVI, www.civivi.com, and on the other side, made better. Maybe I just haven't noticed it. Maybe I've been wrong for a long time. So the Hadros is a thumb stud knife. Now, I'm a big fan of thumb stud knives. It's also got a hollow grind, a right and left pocket clip, open pillar construction, as you can see there. And you want to see the blade? There you go. It's like an extended Warncliffe. We've got a straight blade and a nice slow drop down right there. Hollow grind. So it's fine. It's quite thin at the tip there. Very thin behind the grind. This thing's going to slice like a dream. Mallory design. And that's micarta. Well, I already said that, didn't I? So it's not a rough micarta, but it's not a polished, super smooth micarta either. Yeah, feels pretty good. I do really wish that CIVIVI would make these pocket clips a little bit smaller on these smaller handled knives especially. They use the flush screws, which is great. So that means they could have this space, how far it stands out, be a little bit smaller, and it'll still work on blue jeans just fine. So if they had button screws on here, then they need that extra space. But with those flush screws, CIVIVI, if anybody from CIVIVI is listening, you can make that just a little bit smaller. Feels very, very smooth to me. Very nice detent. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So we'll put that over here, there, just like that. And this one is the, yes, I've been waiting for this guy, the Appalachian Drifter II. So, which side did I cut free? The Appalachian Drifter II. It's, there was one knife, I think it was this August. At the end of August, I did every month I do a giveaway to one of my supporters, randomly chosen. And why did I forget the name already? Because I wanted to keep that knife. The Rustic Gent. The Rustic Gent, really nice knife. And I wanted to keep that knife. And this has got the same basic styling as the Rustic Gent. Again, same stuff inside, as always is on CIVIVI knives. But it's a front flipper with a pocket clip. It's got the same lanyard, whole thing back here. Flush screw and front flipper. Look at that. The other knife looks, the Rustic Gent looks identical to this from this perspective. Well, almost identical. But on this side, you can see that we've got a nice pocket clip, and it's a nice liner lock. They did some good cutaway right here. Let's see how hard it is to get your thumb in there. It's a little bit harder than some knives. It's not too bad. I wish they would have put a little bit of jimping on that lock release right there, like I've seen on some CIVIVI knives. That would make it a little bit easier to disengage that lock. Yeah, we got phosphor bronze cages, highly skeletonized liners, micarta and carbon fiber, nice and light. That's just great. I like that. Nice hollow grind. So if you want to know the basic things about, how good it feels in the hand, how well it performs in cutting and stuff, check out my video on the Rustic Gent, because it'll be just the same. The differences with this guy is the pocket clip and the front flipper. Those are the main differences. Very smooth action. I like that. And of course, the locking system's different. I think I already said that, though. That is nice. So we've got 4 fixed blades and 2 pocket knives in this video. If you're looking for something like this, there you go. White Mountain Knives. Coupon code CCE gets you 10% off. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. And my YouTube member supporters as well. Thank you very, very much for helping out this channel with your monthly donations. If you want to help Canadian Cutting Edge out, you can go to patreon.com/CCE, or below each video down there, beside the subscribe button, which you've already grayed out because you subscribed. If it's still a bright red subscribe button, just to the right of it, there's a button that says join. You can click that and follow the prompts, and you can support the channel with a monthly donation. That helps me a lot. And what you get out of it is a great feeling that you've brought a big smile to my face. You get one chance every month to win one of the knives that I reviewed in the previous month. You get first access to all knife sales that I do, 48 hours access ahead of anybody else. So that's a big thing for my supporters. They usually buy at least 2/3 of the knives up before the public even has access. And, communication. Although I'll talk to just about anybody, talking to me on Patreon, that always has my priority. If I see a message on Patreon, I go there before I go to my email and stuff. So thank you so very, very much. And if you're a YouTube member, you get a little icon beside your comments if you leave a comment, and I go look at those first as well. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now.